Hi, this is Joyce Van Setters. Welcome to the Pink Book series, stories about mental health and art. If there's something that resonates with you, I hope you join. Welcome to the Pink Book podcast. I am your host, Joyce Van Setters. We are back. I have a little bit of a new setup today. Normally, you don't know this, but we were over there, so the setup is going to look a little different. I'm loving it, actually. But the same thing is we are still talking to innovators who are doing big shit. And today I have one of my new favorite people, Lilo Brancato.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Appreciate it.
Lilo, you are, most people know you as C or Calogero from A Bronx Tale. Might even know you as Matthew Bellavacqua from The Sopranos.
Yes.
But you are not just an actor, you're an advocate for a lot of things. So I want to get into that with you.
Okay.
Tell me where you were born.
I was born in Bogota, Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you come to the United States?
I came here when I was 4 months old, beginning in 1977. I was born in August 76.
Okay.
Was adopted
Okay.
by an Italian family.
Okay.
They came from, they were immigrants from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So they migrated to Yonkers, New York. That's where they settled.
Okay.
And that's where I went. And, they were big Italian family. Both my mom's side and dad's side were big families.
Okay.
So I was like welcomed by this big family.
And you were raised Italian,
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
4 months. I don't think I didn't really learn
Right?
much. Yeah.
Yeah. Brothers
So,
and sisters?
I got a brother, Vincent.
Okay.
Yeah. We're 9-month difference.
Okay. He was adopted as well? Or?
No, he's their
he's their son.
biological
Okay.
son. Because they didn't think they could have any more kids, and that's why
Got
they
it.
decided to adopt.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's a psychological thing too. It has to be.
Yeah.
Where, the pressure, and maybe that's a reason why you're not able to get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
But then it's like, okay, well, we have a baby
Mm-hmm.
that, it's going to be ours. And maybe some of that pressure
Yeah.
that's gone
Yep.
from that
And then it happens.
enables to just, boom,
Yep.
create magic.
That's exactly how it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you grew up in Yonkers?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
And now let's talk about how you got into acting
Okay.
and at what age?
I was 15, literally my last month of being 15 years old
Okay.
in 1992. July 5th, 1992, I was on Jones Beach and they just found me. My brother called me out of the water. I met this guy, this talent scout, and he liked my look right away because my brother had told him he looks like De Niro, and then invited me to the Bronx, the Belmont Playhouse.
Okay.
And that's when I discovered that I had some talent. Gave me the scene with the shaving, loved the way I did it, sent my VHS tape because this was 1992.
Oh, okay. VHS, we're going back.
Yeah, 1992. So he sends the tape to New York City where De Niro was.
Okay.
So that was like over the weekend. By Monday, I was working at a law office.
Wow.
And the law office that I worked at is someone the person is my mentor, Corey Rabin.
Okay.
To this day. He's, very close
Mm-hmm.
to me. He's in recovery as well. But,
Okay.
He's a very successful attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And, I knew his dad, Judge Rabin, his family. But
Were there a lot of people in line to get that role?
Well, yeah, I even heard that Johnny Depp wanted that role.
Really?
Yeah, but they didn't want that. Not that Johnny Depp's
Right,
I'm a better actor than Johnny Depp. But they wanted authenticity. They
Got
wanted real people that can, from where it really took place.
Yeah.
And they basically found, it came down to Terrell and I.
Wow.
And she's another one that's still we're very close friends to this day.
I love that.
Friends with her husband, Lauren, her family, I know her sons.
Mm-hmm.
I was just at her 50th birthday in, when was it, like September in Philly.
Wow.
I went out there.
What was it like on set of A Bronx Tale? Like, what are some memories you have of that?
Oh, there's so many memories. I remember initially there was the feeling of a lot of pressure because you are the movie.
Right.
You're narrating the film. Everything is hinging on you and what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Makes everyone else or, not to, but it really was a big, big responsibility for someone at that age.
Okay.
So, but as time went on and I saw that I was doing it well and I was doing 2 takes and it was just happening.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can do this. some of that pressure was lifted.
Love that.
And we just, there's so many memories, so many late nights with, different actors. And, De Niro was there because he was the director. So he was always there.
Right.
Chaz was always there.
Okay.
Regardless.
Was the movie about him? Was Chaz?
Chaz,
The movie was about him, right?
Yeah.
Was that his name in real life, Calogero?
Well, Calogero's Charles, and Charles is Chaz.
Chaz.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew that.
Like in Spanish, Carlos is Charlie.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Calogero's Charlie.
Got it.
So,
interesting.
Yeah, it is. I know that name. My adopted father was Sicilian.
Okay.
And that name, Calogero, is very, very prominent Sicilian name.
Wow.
My dad's town from where he came from in Sicily, the saint from that town is Calogero.
Wow.
So with that name, I was like, yeah, I know this name. Like I grew up to it. So it was like people like pronouncing it different.
Yeah, everybody butchered that name.
Yeah, but I knew. I'm like, oh yeah, I have like
that's where we see.
I have relatives that name.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a lot of pressure, but then it just got easier. And then we just, there's so many things that I've learned, just that I learned. But you know what? That film set the bar so high. And then when I worked on other films, it just wasn't quite like that.
Mm. Did you want to act after that? Did you want to continue being an actor after you did that?
Oh, yeah.
You did. You were hooked. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I definitely caught the acting bug after that. I didn't think, like once it happened, I didn't think it would ever end.
Okay.
It was like, okay, now I'm here.
Right.
But that's not the way that works.
Yeah.
You have to really nurture it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I made some crazy, some bad decisions.
Yeah. What did you do after that show?
Then I did Renaissance Man.
Renaissance Man, okay.
Yeah, I did that. I did Crimson Tide. But I was just like more concentrating on like going out and partying and stuff like that. Like I would love to have the opportunities that I had back then, but that's just not the way it works.
Okay.
But, I got other things going on that I'm making work at this point.
Okay.
So, there's different places to find happiness, but I still do that. Like I'm still, like I write my own stuff and, like there's a certain fulfillment with that as well, because it's like, that's just an idea here,
right?
Put down on maybe index cards and then slowly build it to a screenplay. And then, you make a film.
Yeah.
So something about that to me is better than going to an audition, getting a role, and then going there for whatever, like you got a smaller role and you're working on the film for 3 days and you go play this part. I mean, that's cool too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, just to be in the driver's seat, to create something that can affect people the way you were affected by certain films.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like capturing certain nuances about certain things that you're trying to make a film about, and just to like see people's reaction. And you made the film, you came up with this.
Yeah, yeah.
So just to see people like, yo, wow, man, bro, did you see that movie? Like that's what I'm saying.
I get that. How long after that did you get Sopranos? You were 15 when you did A Bronx Tale?
Yeah, well, 16.
16,
I turned 16 by the time I started shooting. Sopranos was Bronx Tale was in 92, and then Sopranos was 99.
99, okay.
Yeah, so Sopranos I was early 20s.
Okay, and you had some films in between.
Yeah, Crimson Tide, Renaissance Man. I did a lot of other things.
All
as
right,
well. But those are most notable.
Yeah, talk to me about Sopranos.
It was a great experience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was a great experience. Obviously, the show was tremendous.
Yeah.
I had a great time. It was a great experience just to be part of something like that.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, regardless of whatever happened right now, moving forward, that can never be taken away from me.
Absolutely.
I was part of that show.
Yeah.
It's regarded as one of the best ever.
Yep.
So yeah, I was on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did love it. I thought it was an absolutely, it was tremendous. No one knew. And I knew Gandolfini from Crimson Tide.
Wow. Okay.
So he was like this actor, like not struggling, but he was like
right.
in the mix and he'd get parts here and there.
Yeah. I remember him only from True Romance.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in Crimson Tide too.
Okay. I don't remember.
He was in Get Shorty. Remember Travolta?
Yes.
Remember he was the bodyguard. Travolta threw him down the stairs.
Yes. And 8mm. He played in that too, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That was one of my, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but Gandolfini, I read for the first season. I say this all the time. I don't sound like a broken record, but it's true. I read for the first season. It was just a show, The Sopranos. Nobody was cast. It was just like a gangster show, HBO. you really never had shows like that on HBO. So it's like a concept, basically. Right. So I read for a part, Brendan Filone. I don't get it. But in a way, I really didn't give a shit because it's like you always meet people, you make contacts.
Yeah.
And exactly the reason why I go to auditions is to meet people. They may say, hey, that kid was great. Let's call him back. He wasn't right for this. But remember that kid, Lilo?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he had something about him. I think he could play this or he could do this. So now, Brendan Filone, they didn't give me that part. Like I said, I didn't care because the show didn't come out. And it just made me it may never even get shot. It's like, it was new. You never know what can happen. But you don't really dwell in that. You just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So now I'm watching TV and then I saw the coming attraction. Like, then it, boom, light bulb. Oh, yeah, that show, Sopranos. Then it's like, they chose this guy, Gandolfini.
Right.
Like, like,
was this the second season?
No, the first season.
Oh, this was still the first?
Yeah, this is like when I first saw the first coming attraction because I didn't even know the show was going to like it. And I couldn't believe they chose him because he was like a nobody. Right. Right? Who the hell was he? Like little parts, right? True Romance. Yeah. Right. But then when I saw that first episode, I just remember the feeling that I got after watching that episode and just recognizing greatness instantly from that show.
He was a star.
But everything about it, the writing, the show was like, blew me away.
Yeah.
It was such an authentic depiction of that.
Yeah. At the time, I lived in the neighborhood where they were shooting it in Bloomfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So we like knew the lady's house that they used to shoot it. I mean, it was cool. Everybody was excited about it.
Yeah, it's like, and then by the time the second season, when I did get on, it was like this phenomenon. Like, whoa, Sopranos.
They called you back, or you like looked them up. Like, how did you get back into it?
Call me back.
Okay.
And they said if this show goes and we find the role that's right for you, we'll get. And they did.
Nice.
And they did.
Okay.
I went in, I read for Bevilacqua, and here I was.
Love it.
Me and the other guy.
Yeah. And that was a good role.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And so how long after that do you think like trouble started happening for you or just making wrong decisions?
I was already doing it during that show.
Okay.
I was already snorting heroin and going out sniffing coke and doing all that crazy shit. You know what I mean? I got way worse later on, but during that time I was already in the mix.
So that's where like the bulk of your money was going?
No.
Okay.
Because I was more like a weekend warrior. Okay. The heroin I dabbled in.
A weekend warrior.
Yeah, that's like, exactly what I was.
I love it.
That's what I was. But then it was like a matter of life and death.
Yeah.
Then it became a matter of life and death when I jumped out of the car and I messed my head up.
Oh, no. Is that where that's from?
I was paranoid. You know, like when you get like that cocaine psychosis.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
It's like it's a paranoia.
Okay.
It's a delusion. You get
like
delusional.
You think someone's after you?
Yes, you get suspicious of people. You even, like, seriously, look it up. It's a real thing.
Jesus.
People get paranoid and it's real shit. Like they'll think their own dad is going to kill them. It's really, this stuff messes your mind.
And so you jumped out of a car.
Thinking my friends were going to kill me. So that's when I got hooked on pills. And then once I'm no longer in the world of like the cocaine and stuff. Okay. That's more of a choice.
Okay.
That has like a psychological hold on you.
Okay.
Because it's like you remember, it keeps imprinting that memory. And you're like, damn, you know, like it's Friday night. Yeah, a couple of drinks. And boom, let's go. But that's still a choice. Okay. You could do it 4 days in a row. You go to sleep. It's like it never happened.
Right.
But now with this, I started taking painkillers. And I didn't realize how addicting they were. And they felt so good.
Right.
And no repercussion like Coke where you come down and all that other stuff. It just felt great.
Like just no pain?
Yeah, it was just pain. You felt like euphoric.
Yeah.
Sleep good. I'm smoking cigarettes, like nodding out. Right. Like, wow, this is great. And like I said, at the time, it didn't seem that there was really a price to pay because I was going right to sleep. Coke, I got to like drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Do all this stuff just to be able to like go to sleep. But this stuff was great. Like, wow, I could go right to sleep. But what I didn't realize, it was a physical addiction. So the more I was doing it, when I didn't have any more, I stopped. I remember I felt like hot flashes, like I had the flu. So then I started going through withdrawals. And then I realized, and then I got into that whole world.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then destruction. Then I got in trouble.
Yeah. Talk to me about when you got in trouble. How did that even occur? Like, how did that even come about?
The real story is like, it was because of a girl. The girl that I was with at the time, her name was Stephanie. I'm not blaming her.
Yeah.
But she was my girlfriend.
This is the situation.
Yeah. She was my girlfriend. She was a college girl. She was going to go to she was going to take her MCATs
Okay.
to get into medical school. So she had high aspirations. She was going up and I was going down.
Okay.
Smoking crack. I lived in her house.
Mm-hmm.
Her father was the guy I got in trouble with.
Okay.
He lived downstairs. So I was with her from like 03 to 05.
Okay.
I knew her sister, all her friends. Like we lived together
Yeah.
pretty much. And then she had broken up with me because I was like, she's trying to study to go to school.
Yeah.
And I'm like smoking crack and like walking around the house all paranoid, looking under beds and crazy shit.
Right.
You can't concentrate like that.
Yeah.
So when she broke up with me, it was a very hard pill to swallow, a very tough pill to swallow. And I kept promising her that I would stop. And then it got to the point where I was like pretty much stalking her, going there every day.
Right.
And I was like smoking crack out for, because I was heartbroken over
Right.
this. So I'm smoking more crack to not feel the heartbreak.
Right.
And
To numb.
I'm up
Yeah.
5-6 days, no sleeping. Like
Jeez.
waiting for her to come out, in the morning to go to school. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to her all geeked up. And then eventually she just didn't want me going by there. So like her sister, they would call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got to the point where I used their dad as a loophole.
To get back in her life.
Yeah, because then I could say, yo, I'm hanging out with your dad.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we started hanging out. And, he had been in prison already. He was
Okay.
only 48 at the time. He was literally my age.
Okay.
What I am now. I
Yeah.
was 29.
Okay.
So he was out there. He liked to drink. He was, like to snort heroin. He was
Mhm.
a bad guy. He'd already been in prison twice.
Okay.
So we paired up. We were doing drugs together. And then we went out one night. And it wasn't to rob the house. It was to
Right.
get drugs.
Okay.
But
To take drugs from a house.
yeah, but not rob. I knew the guy.
Got it.
You
To
know
go
what I mean?
get
It was
drugs.
just
I
pills.
understand. Got it.
Wouldn't be something I need to rob. I just wanted the guy's attention.
Right.
He was going to give me some Tylenol with codeine
Okay.
to just get me to the next day
Yeah.
without the pain.
Okay.
Because the guy I got heroin from didn't have it. So now this whole thing, popped off. I'm walking away. Somebody comes out and then, he started shooting me.
Yeah.
And then it was a mess. So then I'm charged with murder in the
Mhm.
second degree because they
Right.
say he was in the commission of a burglary. So now this is a serious thing.
Yes.
This is a very serious thing.
And how old were you? 29?
29.
Okay.
I was 29 years old. And now, like I said, I'm charged with murder. He's charged with murder in the first. I'm
Yeah.
charged with murder in the second.
Okay.
We were on the cover. We were in the newspaper, like the cover of the newspaper.
remember
for like
this.
2 weeks
Yeah.
straight. Every day there was something about us.
Yeah. We were like, not C.
Yeah.
Remember?
But every day I just remember reading some of the stuff.
And how was that when you got convicted?
Well, it was a kind of a relief because I beat the murder.
Okay.
So it was like an
What-
Attempted
what were
burglary.
you that's what you were convicted of.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I beat burglary, 2 counts,
Mm-hmm.
murder in the second,
Right.
one count of attempted burglary,
Okay.
and then convicted of attempted burglary in the first degree with serious physical injury to a non-participant.
Okay.
So it's the serious physical injury was a
Yeah,
death.
yeah.
But whatever it is, it doesn't make sense in the law because you acquitted me of knowing about the gun.
Right.
That's why I beat the murder too.
Okay.
But now you're finding me guilty of serious physical injury to a non-participant.
Because you were there.
Right, but how can you find me guilty of the serious physical injury when it was inflicted by a firearm
Right.
that you already acquitted me of having knowledge of, or else I would have been on the hook for the murder too.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense
Yeah.
legally. But I took it with a smile
Yeah.
because then it's like,
How long did you get?
I got 10 years.
10 years.
And
okay.
I did 3 already at that point. So
Okay.
it's 5 more years.
Got it.
Because if the murder too, that puts me away 15,
Yes.
20,
Yeah.
25 to life.
Right.
Because it's a murder. You know what I mean? So there's life behind that.
Yeah.
If it was manslaughter, the most they could give you was 25.
Okay.
So it's like usually like a indeterminate, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Indeterminate sentence of 8 1/3 to 25.
Okay.
But thank God, I'm so blessed like that. Everything went. I never
Where
underestimated.
did you do your 5 years?
Well, I did 3. I did 8 altogether.
Okay.
I had 10. I did my first 3 in Rikers Island,
Okay.
fighting the case. I got convicted of the
Got it.
attempted burglary,
Okay.
then went upstate. It was supposed to be 5.5,
Okay.
but I got 6 months taken off because I went to school.
Okay.
So I actually went to college. I paid
In
for
prison. You did. Okay.
it. I paid for it. It wasn't.
Got it.
It wasn't from like the facility. I had
Yeah.
to go out of my way. So I intentionally took classes and
Okay.
just wanted to better myself.
Yeah.
And I did, and I got a degree. So I did my time.
What
like
was
I
the
said, I
first
never
thing
wanna-
you did when you came out?
I remember on the way home from upstate, I had my father and my cousin came to pick me up, take me to a store. I remember I got some piece of gum. I hadn't chewed gum in all those years.
Wow.
I always asked, like, why can't you chew gum? And you know what somebody told me?
Is it a choking thing?
No. They say that with the gum, I don't know, this is crazy, but you can make a mold of the key.
I was just going to say that next because I watch too many fucking movies. I was just going to say you either mold the key or you put it in a lock.
Yeah. Yeah, but mold the key and then give it
and
to
then let it harden?
Yeah, and then give it to like one of your relatives or something. Make a key of this, and then they bring you the key. But that's a lot of work, but it could be done, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah, because I guess it's like putty to a certain extent.
They could be done, right. And you know, there's another thing too. You're not allowed to have digital watches with stopwatch because then you're able to time their rounds.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was in a meeting.
What about people who could do that in their head?
I don't know. It's not.
I'm watching too many movies.
They're not on
right?
it like that, though. It's not regular like that.
Got
it's
it.
Whenever the captain feels like walking again.
Got it. Now, let's be clear here. You no longer do drugs and alcohol. You are completely sober for how many years?
Since November 18th, 2006.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
What were do you have any like crazy stories you could tell us about from prison? Like, not that I want to drudge up your bad history, but like just anything fucking crazy go on there that like you just can't get out of your head?
I mean, there were so many, but then Rikers Island was a nutty place. But when I went upstate, it was relatively nice and calm. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it was like a nut house. No,
right.
No, it wasn't. It was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had this in administrative segregation.
Okay.
So we weren't thrown to the wolves. It was a high-profile case.
Okay.
So I wasn't with the general population.
Okay.
But you still see some stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's still prison. And, you know, you still see, you know, like cooperators and snitches that are still bad guys.
Right.
They'll come, you know, like they'll be but Rikers Island was a very dangerous place.
Okay.
Very dangerous place. Something like one thing that really sticks out, like almost dying in a staircase in 2006. It was like March. You know, I was in the box for I don't know. I think that time was for smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
So I'm in the box now. I'm on the 5th floor. So I finally got chosen to go out because sometimes the COs just walk right by your cell.
Wow.
And you can't, you don't even go out. You just got to wait till the next day. You're literally in a room like, all right, tomorrow's another day. What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Call your lawyer. All right, wait for
He didn't let me out.
Yeah. Hey, exactly. See what you're going to do with this guy. But, so they finally, I'm going. So I had a couple scary things happen before that.
Mm-hmm.
But, so now we're in the staircase. And you're on what's called a daisy chain. And a daisy chain is like you're locked up with like 15 other guys.
Everybody's
by your
connected.
Ankle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now on that daisy chain, so like there's no elevators. You're walking down a back staircase. We're on 5 Southwest to get to the yard.
Wow.
You got to go down 5, like.
All connected.
Yeah. And there's like 50 cells.
Jesus.
So maybe not everybody's going, but even when you say 30 guys, 15 on a chain.
Yeah.
That's serious business.
Seriously.
And, it's wild. It's wild, especially because a lot of these guys, got 6 months in the box.
Yeah.
They're in that all day. So when they got that little time to go out, it's a nut house.
They're ready. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So here I am at this point. This is March of 2006. I just got locked up. Right now I'm like 175, 180. Back then, at that point in time, I was like 145.
Wow.
I was still half strung out. I was a little guy.
Yeah.
So now we're in this friggin' staircase and we're like walking down and then someone just friggin' takes off and they just start running. And they do that on purpose because if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you're in trouble.
Right.
Because then you literally get trampled coming down those things.
So everybody just take one person.
Right. I literally, enough by the grace of God, enough of the back of my heel caught the stair because you're locked up too, like this. Caught enough of the back of my heel, the stair, to where I was able to catch my balance. I'll never forget that feeling that day. Like when I was outside, just looking out into New York City, because you're literally on the East River, Rikers Island, and you're in those cages. And where I was, I could see the city, and I remember just looking at the city and just remembering and just realizing the bullet that I had just dodged.
Wow.
How much worse that could have been. I
Just
could have been
split
in
your
some
head.
infirmary
Yeah.
somewhere right now in a coma with a split open head. Probably be a vegetable for the rest of my life.
Holy shit.
That's how serious it is.
Yeah.
And that's how close that came.
That's crazy.
But, that kind of stuff changes you because it rewires your brain. Because like your average person doesn't experience that kind of danger.
Right.
So when you are in that situation, already when you're incarcerated, your testosterone level goes up and your senses get heightened just subconsciously just because of the environment that you're in.
Right. Fight or flight.
Fight or flight. Yeah. Exactly. So that's serious stuff. So then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but I don't want, the war stories or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's really with the good stuff that I got out of being there.
Okay.
Made me mentally strong because you know what I mean? When you become mentally strong, you don't need to jump to drugs every time.
Well, you kind of grew up there, right? You were
right. Make or break.
Yeah.
Because you could have went the other way and became much worse.
Exactly.
And then just like been a total criminal when you came home.
So
Because then it's like it doesn't affect you to go back because it's like who cares about the repercussions?
Yeah, and God
I
only knows
need
what you do.
a couple of year break anyway.
Right.
Just let me find out. Right. I need this break.
Got it. So you get out, and then what's next for you when you get out? Besides your gum.
Yeah, well, everything, it was very tough. What's next for me? Whatever I could get. That was what was next for me.
Were you kind of thinking like, I'm going to get back into acting? Like, what was your mindset?
I definitely did.
You did.
Not because I was some selfish, like,
yeah, no, because that's all you knew.
POS. But you're right. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
This is my only avenue. So as people like used to criticize, thinking like, how could this guy think he could get back in movies when there's a day?
See, I would think you'd be thinking, that was my job. What else do I know?
Whoopi Goldberg said the same thing on
really?
The View? Yeah, because they try to boycott this one movie I was in. Rosie Perez or whoever was there, they were talking shit. But Whoopi's like, what do you want him to do?
What else did you know?
What do you
did that since you were 16.
And he's on parole, which they encourage people to work. He's working.
Right.
Why don't you leave this guy? I love Whoopi. Whoopi, wherever you are, I love you. Rosie Perez, not you. Not so much.
We love you too, Whoopi.
Yeah, Whoopi. But, so it's like, this is what I know.
I would think that's all you'd be thinking.
Maybe, but, and it wasn't even thinking like, like now it's over. It was more thinking like, now that I have this in my artillery, these emotions that I've never thought I would experience. Yeah. But now this is the stuff that makes people good actors. Being able to...
You probably heightened it.
Right. Tap into stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, only certain things, only if you've been in certain situations like that, will you know where to go to get certain things.
Right.
It's like, I remember like, holy shit, I remember how scared I was walking down that staircase. Or I remember I remember when the jury was reading back the verdict.
Yeah.
You remember what you felt and what was going on to mimic that kind of feeling in a situation that can call for something similar.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now it's like, I got to use what I got.
Right.
So it wasn't like some selfish thing. Like, maybe I could bring the world something great through an experience and the pain that I've endured, not to minimize the pain the family went through, because I'm sure their pain was much greater.
Absolutely.
And I feel for that always.
Right.
Believe me. I'm not some like crazy Charles Manson type.
Yeah.
I feel he was a year younger than me, the kid. Trust me, I feel. But that's the way I thought of it. And that's the only thing that I knew. But then.
And you also, another side to look at it is, you could be helping some kid in your same situation who was trying to become an actor. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Or, help some young actor not do what I did.
Right.
What's done is done already here.
Exactly.
But it doesn't have to be with you.
Right.
Which can easily happen based on this lifestyle.
Right. You got the cheat codes for that.
Right. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you don't watch out and you're not careful.
Right.
It's a fast life.
It's easy.
And it just happens.
Yeah.
You're making money. You're out all the time. You know what I mean? You make a movie, you get some free time.
Yeah.
People throwing themselves at you.
Sure.
It's a very enticing, it's a very seductive lifestyle that becomes very addicting. And before you know it, you're throwing your life down the toilet. Okay. I've seen it. I've lived it. Not that, and now like mentally, I'm so strong, like I would never, ever do that.
That's awesome.
Now it's like whatever it is, I get through it. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
you know, like the worst things. Sometimes I embrace that kind of stuff because I know it's going to go away.
Yeah.
And then it's like, when I'm done with this, because it's life, it's
Yeah.
the cost of being a human.
It is.
We live and we learn through what we experience.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
you know, like everybody has something they're going through,
Mhm.
but the key is to be able to balance that and still have a normal, good
A
life.
normal life. Yeah.
Because you don't think you're the only one. Like, oh, I got this shit. This
Right.
guy's
The
got
worst thing in the
something.
world is
He's
not. Yeah.
oh, everybody's got something.
Yeah.
But the key is to find enough peace within ourselves
Mhm.
to be able to know that everyone has their own burden to
Mhm.
bear. But at the same time, this is what life is.
That's a
So
great
in
mindset.
knowing that, now I have to just
Yeah.
try to balance my life the right way
Mhm.
and still get some happy fulfillment from it.
Mm-hmm.
Learn lessons along the way. Mistakes are mistakes if you don't learn from them.
Yeah.
If you did, it's a lesson. If you didn't, it's a mistake.
Absolutely.
So now
I
you
agree.
just keep going.
I agree. Did you end up getting another acting job after that?
Yeah, I've done a lot of independent films. I
Okay.
worked with Woody Allen.
You did.
Yeah.
On what?
I worked a film called Wonder Wheel.
I'm the biggest Woody Allen fan ever. Of course, I know Wonder Wheel.
Yeah. I have pictures of me on the
Really?
set in a hairpiece.
Uh-huh.
The scene was cut. I don't know if it
Okay.
was cut for whatever reason, but I
Okay.
was in that.
Okay.
I worked with Tony Sirico and
wow.
Bobby Bacala.
Okay.
I remember the woman who cast that. Her name was Patricia DeSerto.
Okay.
And she was a very, very sweet woman, very nice. I remember I met her on a general meeting. My
Okay.
former manager, Eric Kritzer, good guy. You know, like we were when I was first coming home and in the first few years,
Yeah.
we had to reconnect with people. So
Okay.
I suggested he knew it was a good game plan. Start like sending me out on general meetings
Okay.
with the older people that I already knew to
Mhm.
refamiliarize the new people.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Lilo. You know what I mean? You got all these new. So Patricia did say, if there's anything we ever have, that's right. And she did. She
Okay.
brought me in. And this was one of the auditions going in.
Okay.
Because a lot of everything changed when I came home. And then the pandemic changed it even more.
Yeah.
Like nothing is in person anymore.
Right.
But I remember this one was in person, but it wasn't with Woody.
Okay.
It was just whoever. It was Patricia and
Okay.
someone else, and they put me on tape and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before I shaved my head.
Okay.
So I had my crazy hairline. I
Yeah.
don't know what I was holding on to. Like, what is that? You know, like, Lilo, bro, you had such nice hair in the
At that
Bronx
time,
Tale.
you were famous for that.
Yeah, like, Lilo, what is wrong with you, right? Yeah. So then finally I let it go. But
And you got a good head,
yeah, thank God.
So,
Thank God.
right?
Yeah, thank God. So I did what I had to do. I remember reading for like 2 roles or whatever it was. And then I remember Patricia DeSerto calling me.
Mhm.
And she said, she goes, Lilo, she goes, Woody loves you so much. He loves your voice. He thinks you're great, blah, blah, blah. She said, but he just wants to know one thing. And I said, yeah, what's up? He said, Woody wants to know if you would wear a hairpiece. You like that? I think that's funny, huh, Joyce? Woody wants to know if you would wear a hairpiece.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I did a lot of things. Look, that was me with the mustache. That's in
Oh my
Louisiana.
God. That's you.
Dead on Arrival. I did a lot of things. But this is on Woody's thing.
I'm dying.
Did you see Wonder Wheel?
Yes.
You remember Tony Sirico?
Yes, absolutely.
Look.
I've seen every Woody.
Look.
Stop it.
Look, that's him.
Stop it.
That's
Can we give
Bobby.
that to the camera, please?
Yeah, and wait till you see me with the hairpiece.
My God. That does not even look like you.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Wow.
And I remember Woody. I remember Woody because the way Woody shoots a film, he does a steady cam,
Yeah.
a big wide shot that moves.
Okay.
So it's like theater. Everything has to be timed out.
Wow.
It's not boom, camera here, different setup.
Right.
He does it all in one with the camera sweeping.
Wow.
And when it works, it's beautiful. But sometimes, my opinion,
Mhm.
it takes away from the actors.
Okay.
Because like if the camera's like, say you're sitting there and the camera guy's coming this way,
Yeah.
you have to say your line when that thing's in front of you. You have to know that's
Right.
that's your cue.
Right. Or you
But you
missed
may not
something.
feel it then.
Got it.
I just felt like
Got
I
it.
didn't feel it when I was supposed
So you were
to do
kind
it.
of just saying it.
Yeah. So then Woody like literally jumps up out of his chair and he goes, and he runs up to me. He goes, no pause, fast. No pause. That's what he said. No pause, fast. So I'm like, all right. And I did it and it just felt off.
Yeah.
It just felt off. It was
Okay.
still good.
Yeah.
But for myself,
Okay.
it'll work. It'll definitely work. I don't know what, to be honest with you, I don't know why it was cut out of the film.
Okay.
I
They
don't know
didn't give
if-
you a reason. They didn't.
No,
Okay.
because they definitely paid me well. That hairpiece. Do you know how much that hairpiece was done by Jerry Popoulis?
I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah, Jerry Popoulis is De Niro's personal hair and makeup guy.
Really?
Jerry Popoulis did that.
Wow.
I met him. Okay.
Do you still have the hairpiece?
No. That was made by a London wig maker. That was like a $12,000 hairpiece. That's what I'm saying. They put a lot into it.
Yeah. Yeah. You look like a model.
This thing right
crazy.
here, the way we did it at first was he gets saran wrap and he literally puts it on your head.
Okay.
And then he pulls it down and then he makes the contours exactly with the marker. I may have the pictures.
Wow.
I may have the pictures.
This sounds like a girl getting a wig. Like this
yeah,
is like
it's
serious shit.
It's serious stuff. Yeah.
I love it.
Very serious.
Was that one and only time you wore a hairpiece in a movie? Like, was that like, or had you done that before?
No.
That was
That
it?
was, yeah. Let me see. Oh,
Give it to me. Oh my God. That's crazy. Yeah,
That's how it
that's a little
starts.
more detailed, I think.
that's how it starts. So
That's like real. Wow.
that's not just put it on his head.
Yeah. And
That's
then
like-
they glue it on top of the saran wrap?
Yeah. And they
Wow.
try
And then
different
cut
ones.
it.
No. That's to make the wig to the perfect contours of your head.
Oh, of your head. So it's like a mold almost.
Right,
Got it.
exactly.
Oh, so that's real
That's
serious.
the word, perfect word. It's
That's
a mold.
serious. Okay.
It's a mold of exactly like when you put plaster of Paris,
Yes.
when they make prosthetic pieces for
Got
the thing.
it.
Because
Got
I've
it.
done that too.
So it fits your head
the-
perfect.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So that was Jerry. And
I
so
didn't
they,
even know that was a thing.
yeah, they put a lot into it.
Yeah.
So I knew, and the role was cool.
What was the role?
Oh, I remember it was like this Italian guy.
Okay.
And those two guys, Tony Chirico
Yeah.
and Bobby Bacala, whatever
Yeah.
his name is. What the hell's his name? The chubby guy.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but-
yeah.
Steve Sharippa.
Yes.
They worked for my dad.
Okay.
Juno Temple. She's, I think, gonna go to the cops.
Okay.
I didn't really know. I wasn't given the script.
Okay.
She was gonna go to the cops or whatever. We had to find her.
Okay.
And that's me telling them, listen, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, the basic, hey, how you doing, Tony?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was cool to work with Woody.
Okay.
And to see that, although I wasn't too happy with the experience after, no pause, fast. I just didn't like that.
You
It
didn't?
kind of
Okay.
rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
It like kind of takes away from the actor.
Yeah.
You're more willing to, you looking for you to shine more as the
Mhm.
filmmaker, but you're compromising us.
Right. Exactly how he wants it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Not how
And
you
it's
feel it.
not the way I wanted. It's not the light. I could have shown myself in a little bit of a brighter light.
Mm,
I felt, but
I understand.
whatever. But that's the stuff people want to hear. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say, "Oh, it's great." it's
Yeah.
great."
No.
It's
No.
not.
We want the real.
That's the real shit, and that was my experience
Yeah.
for Woody Allen.
Have you done a lot of movies where your part was cut, or was that the only time?
No, one time when I did the Sammy the Bull movie. It was
Okay.
called Witness to the Mob.
Okay.
It was on
Don't know
NBC.
that. Okay.
It wasn't that. I mean, it was all right. Nick Turturro played Sammy Gravano,
Ooh. Okay.
and I played the young Sammy.
Okay.
It just didn't work
Okay.
because me and Nick are close in age.
Yeah.
Even though it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I didn't. Listen, I'm not going to say, nah, I don't want the role.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think it's going to work. No,
Right.
pay me, and then you
right.
figure out how
exactly.
to work it.
Exactly.
Right?
We'll make it fucking
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
right?
yeah. You make it work.
Exactly.
That is your job.
I
My
got
job
it.
is to come here and give you something to make work.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was cut out, but I don't know. It wasn't that good.
And then going forward from that, you've done some of your own movies, right? Where you're producing, directing,
Yeah,
writing.
we did a film called Sleepyhead. We're having legal issues with the kid who,
He
wrote it. I
blessed
co-wrote
enough-
about 25% of it.
I was blessed enough to see that,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
Yeah. So this kid is driving us nuts, but because it's like to get distribution, you have to make sure everything is like taken, like everything, every T and every I is
Yeah.
dotted and crossed. Because these distribution companies are not going to want to get, and then a year later get sued by somebody.
Do you think it'll happen?
Yeah, but I think there's other avenues because it's
Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
It's cinematic. It's
Yeah.
something that no one has ever
Yeah,
seen.
it's excellent. It
Yeah,
reminds
it's
me of
well done.
like a movie that should come out around Halloween. It's something
Yeah,
like that.
it's well
good.
done.
Yeah,
It's eerie and it's well done.
very well done.
Yeah, man, it's cinematic. The colors, Waleed Sokar did a great job. I want people to see this film.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the point where we don't like, you don't want to give us distribution. That's fine.
Right.
Put it up on my Instagram and let $3 a view.
Yeah.
Half of my people that watch, half of my people, you have other people will say, hey, did you see? Yeah, it was really good actually.
Yeah. Isn't that what happened with the movie The Secret? We watched it on YouTube.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I really think Sleepyhead will have an audience because it's
so
a double entendre. It's cool. Like, I'm not going to give it away, but it's something I'm so proud of. And I've been talking about this shit for years.
You
and this guy,
be.
Jimmy, is like so ungrateful. We made this film for him.
Yeah.
My friend Ricky Nardis, who knew Jimmy, knew me. So Jimmy asked Ricky to get in touch, and then Ricky, is very successful. I used to play soccer with him.
Yeah.
He made it happen, put the money up. I was in the film. I didn't even ask to get paid,
Yeah.
because I wanted it, because, we didn't, because we believed in it.
Yeah, it's a good film. It'll happen.
It's like, it's not a movie that's going to make $300 million.
Right.
But it's a film that people will watch and say, wow, I can't believe that.
And you'll watch
that
it
was
more
a
than
clever,
once.
Yeah.
You'll watch it more than once.
Wow, that was a clever film.
Yeah.
Can you believe those guys made that for under 100,000?
Yeah, and like
it makes you
at the
think.
end, yes.
Because then you start realizing what it is.
Yeah.
And then you got to go back.
Right.
Because like, how come I didn't see that? How come I didn't see that?
Right.
And then you're going to see what was in front of you contributes to what the whole thing is.
I'm not going to lie to you. I watched it twice.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
The liquor store scene's awesome.
Yeah. It's sick.
Come on, bro. You see that kid? Like, that's hardcore.
Yeah. It definitely reminds me of something. I love Halloween movies. I love that time of year, October. It reminds me of something that should come out in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
so
absolutely
what else you got going on right now?
I got a podcast called The Culture Project.
The Culture Project we love.
It's going well.
Yes.
With my bosses over at the rehab. The Loopy Blogger is my co-host. So that's going well.
Okay.
I have a screenplay that I wrote called Never Meet Your Heroes with Terrell Hicks. We have a daughter.
We
it's
love
about
her.
addiction.
Yep.
So that's, slowly putting that all together
Okay.
Methodically, but I have a pitch deck out there.
Okay.
And I have some money, but I just want to get the,
Yeah, of course.
And it doesn't, like, I really believe in this. This is something, I'd rather make one good film every 2 years than, 3 garbage ones in 1 year.
Yeah.
Or okay ones. I don't care. Like, it's like film, and like, it's almost gotten to the point where, I don't know, I like I'm saying, I get more fulfillment on doing it my own way. I
understand that. Yeah.
It's like to jump through all these hoops and be a certain way with certain people to go play like a guest role. I don't care about that shit.
Exactly.
I don't. My life doesn't end there. It's like I got all this,
You got it.
And like you were saying, like, it's this is all I know. So I'm going to go back to doing this.
Absolutely.
But then social media was out there, right?
Mm.
So now I got Instagram, and a lot of the stuff that I was posting is from the heart. Because I really went through tough times, and really things that
you post a lot of like
really,
motivational shit.
Really means something to me because I really lived this stuff. And I can remember the exact moment when I felt certain things that I'm posting. So it means something. And then I guess just the energy that puts out there, that it is authentic, people resonated with it.
Absolutely.
And then you'd be so surprised how much traction I was getting because they know it's coming from an authentic source.
Yeah.
So it's like, Lilo, thank you, bro. Hey, the guys on drugs, the guys are coming home from prison, they can relate to you like 20 different ways. And then you realize that you have something special from your experience that is to be used in a way where you help God do his work.
Got it.
You got it. Because you can't misuse that.
Yeah.
Or try, like then you realize, wow, I have the power. It's bad. I don't know if it's the best word, but because it's good power. You have the
knowledge. Yeah. You do. You have the key.
Impact someone else's life.
Absolutely.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like you get people that cry to me. Like, Lilo, thank you, man. I'm sober now because of you. Like, wow, holy shit. And that's like, that makes that beast inside you that was once like crazy stay sleeping. Because it's like, I need to be a certain way. Like, look at these people that
you need to be stimulated, correct?
Yeah, but
so this is another way to stimulate you.
But also like, but not even that. Like these people like look up to me. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to be a certain way. You got to set the right example.
Tell me more about that. You every other Wednesday you come to Jersey to do an advocacy program, or
I work at the treatment center. I'm director of public relations.
Okay.
I have a job there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a job there. I've been there since 2020.
Oh, okay.
And I've, seen so many people. Today, I was just telling somebody, a couple, like 3 people that I have met there
Hmm.
years ago, and they're back. So it's like
Back because they
maybe they
relapsed, or
relapsed,
they.
or yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, what do you say? It's nice to see you.
Yeah.
It's not really nice to see them.
Right.
It is, but it's not.
Right.
But I wish it would have been at like a diner or something else.
Yeah.
Like you with
Right,
your
out in the
girlfriend
street.
or your boyfriend, like
Right.
looking healthy, and you know what I'm saying, to
Right.
where like I could say, like, at least what we talked about and things maybe
Right.
helped you a little bit. I'm
Exactly.
not going to say that I was the one, but maybe whatever I gave you made a small contribution
Yeah.
as to who the person
Yeah.
and that, why you became this person
Mhm.
today.
Do you
But-
speak there as well?
Yeah.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
We have-
speak other places?
Oh, I speak
Were
it.
they?
Yeah.
You
yeah,
do? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And anybody who's there, they have my phone numbers, my Instagram. So like I talk to them years later. I still talk to people that have been
Wow.
there since 2022. Because this stuff is something that you gotta like,
Yeah. This
a lot
is
of really
this is
good
real
people.
life.
Yeah,
that-
there are a
that
lot of good
people,
people,
it's
and I'm not
hidden
better
under-
than them. I'm one of them, just in a more advanced stage.
Right.
It's not that I'm better. I'm in a more advanced stage.
Right. And you can teach them the way.
Right. Right. Because you already saw what they didn't see yet.
Right.
And say, hey, that's your this. So be careful, because I know for a fact this is going to happen
Yeah.
now. So if you do that, you're going to be, you know what I mean, nothing. So just let it, you know what I mean? And just, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Things happen for, not for a reason that's very cliche, but when you have lived something and you have encountered, just create,
Yeah.
just stuff that can change your life in a negative way. You got to
Sure.
help others navigate.
Absolutely. You
through
have to. That's
past that
what
shit.
we're all here for.
You're right.
That's what we're all here for. That's what I believe.
Right. Even though it's very hard sometimes to live that way.
It is. It is.
You know
It's-
what I mean?
Yeah,
But I think
know
the
exactly
more we
what you
say
mean.
it, the more we speak it into existence.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Because when it's something you're so good at, especially like your acting or your advocacy, it's just a conversation.
Mhm.
It's not, you're not having to do any real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a conversation. This is what you know. This
Right.
is what you're good at.
And they know, like I'm not some college graduate who's like never experienced maybe spice months
Right.
and weed in
Right.
college. No, it's the guys
Right.
that's been through it.
Yeah.
Like used to climb through people's windows.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night.
Do you show them your fucking head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know.
There you go.
Yeah. Gunshots, that. It's all like, I look at that, and that was all because of a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not the drugs that'll kill you. It's what happens
What
when
you
you're
do.
doing and getting and all that takes
Your
place.
decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're in that world, just to go cop drugs, you may get robbed and
Yeah.
shot right at the spot. Boom. Or
Right.
that. Or whatever. You get arrested.
Right.
Like, it's like all the shit that happens because of that. But, I'm glad that I'm in a good place in my mind.
Yeah.
Listen, am I perfect? No, I'm still wild.
Yeah.
I'm still wild in, some ways.
Well, you're someone who needs to be, like most of us, stimulated.
Very much so.
Yeah, I can tell that.
I'm
But
like
the
at a
things
very
you're doing are stimulating you.
Right. You're absolutely right. And it's good stimulation. You're feeding the good wolf, the good
Yeah.
dragon inside you.
Yeah.
And it gets better. And, thank God.
Let's
Thank
talk
God.
about your podcast.
Sure.
How's it going?
Going great. Going
Yeah.
well.
And what's the like, what do you guys talk about? What's the
the
theme?
our theme is just like, just about redemption.
Okay.
Just people that,
You're
may have
someone who
not
knows redemption.
right, may have not started off with much, that made something of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Just like different. It's really about giving people hope through the people that we interview.
Okay.
But I can't really say there's a theme, because there's really not.
Okay. Redemption is I think that's a good theme.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Right?
Yes,
Like,
it definitely is.
Underdog comes out on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's a great thing. You're able to meet new people and, come in contact with different walks of life
Yeah.
and do
I think
interviews.
that's one great thing about podcasting. Like, I'm someone who loves human behavior. And so I love these fucking fascinating stories. I can't get enough of it. And there's going to be someone out there that watches that you may help.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I like the psychology too. I
Yeah.
like human behavior, because that's what psychology is. The scientific study of it,
Yeah.
of human behavior and
Yeah.
psychology.
I'm fascinated by it.
I am so much too.
And it's made me very stoic. Like, I could sit back and meet the worst person in the world, but I won't have a reaction to it. You know what I mean? Because I'm more of a studier of people than I don't want to be in the conflict. So I'll just study them. And it's
Right.
like, wow, that's interesting.
That's a
Bad or
smart way
good,
to
I'm
live
just
life
fascinated by them.
because you get ahead that way.
Yeah.
Because you're paying attention to different people, different personality types.
Yeah. And nobody's good or bad to me.
You're picking up things that certain personality types do in common.
Yes.
So when you do encounter someone like that again, then it's like, all right, I know what this guy's already going to do.
Exactly.
Because I already see this shit 4 times with
Exactly.
the same type personality.
Exactly. You're the same, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I'm a blabbermouth.
Okay.
I'm a blabbermouth. I don't sit back. That's a very hard thing for me to do, Joyce, sometimes. But I can be that way, and I know that is a very big asset to me.
It's interesting when you do that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. You learn so much, but it makes you not look at people as good or bad, because you're just like, I find it just interesting. Humans are interesting.
Right. Like a study, one big study without any judgment.
That's it.
It's indifferent. I'm indifferent about it. It's just an experience. It's a learning experience to see, but yeah, no, I love, because I took business. I told you. And psychology was, a course.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the most fascinating. That was my favorite one.
Yeah.
Because, but I mean, different, you have different approaches, the psychodynamic, the cognitive, but to a certain extent, everyone's different. But do you remember that one case, that lady, Kitty Genovese?
Yeah, absolutely.
In Kew Gardens, Queens?
Yes.
Like, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
You got to think about that. Because it's like, yeah, we're different, but at the same time, look at that. All those people did the same exact
thing.
So that's why there's a science.
Human behavior.
Yes, exactly.
You're right.
I'm not calling. Let the next person call.
And everybody's silent.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what I've encountered.
Even when you hear it, it's like, it's so funny. I just saw a documentary on that not so long ago. It wasn't a documentary. It was one of this show where they replay crime stories, but they have like actors doing it. No name actors, but they're replaying it, and they did that story. And I thought the same thing. I'm like, that is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And when you take a course, like a health and wellness course where they try to teach you how to like call 911, they put a group of people in a room, and they make one person say, let's say 10 people are in there and something's happening. I point to you and say, you call 911, because they say if someone needs help and you just walk over and say, call 911, 10 people will be there watching, and they'll all say, someone will call. You have to specifically say, you go call 911 or it won't happen.
Right.
And that's just humans.
That's exactly
Nobody's bad or good. It's just humans.
That was so interesting to me when I saw that. I said, wow. So to a certain extent, there is similarity in every human.
Every human. Yep.
And that's what I've experienced too.
Yep.
Like as far as people giving me acting jobs and stuff like that. It's either called innocent bystander effect or diffusion of responsibility.
Got it.
So it's like diffusion. I don't diffuse the responsibility to me to like and give it to someone else.
Yeah.
But that's what that's what people do. Like, it's like, why should I give them the first job?
Yeah.
Or why should I let someone else do it? And then maybe I'll do it later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the same thing.
Yeah. Lilo, I'm so happy to have you here today. I've tried to get you here a couple of times, and we ran into some roadblocks. So I'm really happy that you came today. I appreciate it. I want to close out with, if there's some person or kid, looking to become an actor and coming against roadblocks, what's some advice that you'd have for them?
Write your own stuff. Okay. Why are you coming into roadblocks? There's so many different, but you can't wait and waste time waiting for someone else to give you something that you may never get or they may never give you.
Right.
And I think if you really love it and they're not there for fame and you really have a passion for it, then create your own stuff based on your talents, because no one knows them better than you do. So it's like no one knows, like even these, like the way my manager has been, I'm not saying mine, but just
in general,
hypothetically, someone saying, the way my manager's been submitting me or getting me out there hasn't been really that to my best interest, because they're bringing me out, they're sending me out for these dramatic roles.
Right.
But no one knows, like, I'm a funny guy. You know what I mean? But that's the truth.
I love it.
And how are they going to know if you're funny?
Yeah.
You got to, and there's a different types of funny.
Yeah.
Like, remember Chevy Chase was like a very quiet, like,
Yeah.
And then you had different kinds of funny.
Yeah, and then the Robin Williams.
Right.
And,
there's different funny.
It.
So you're whatever funny that you are needs to be in the writing and the character that you create.
So write your own stuff.
Write your own stuff. It's very, and I'm telling you, it has a different fulfillment.
Yeah.
just the raising of the money and being out there, and you don't have all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
So I got to make this work in this amount of time. And I got my friends that put up money, so I can't let them down. So just that kind of stuff, challenging yourself and
Mhm.
wearing all those hats, and then actually churning out something like like not well, a profit, of course,
Yeah.
but a good product, which
Mhm.
will then, of course, yield profit.
Right.
But the concentration needs to be on the good product
I
and
love
keep the
that.
costs low.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Lilo,
Thank
for
you,
being
Joyce.
here.
The best. I
And I
appreciate
want
it.
to thank all of you for watching the Pink Book Podcast and let you know that I am still on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. And if this is something that resonates with you, watch. Thank
right.
you.